Okay, so good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us once again for a live on Friday evening at 6:30 p.m. As you know, I've been doing a series of lives on Friday evenings on topics that are important for women. And I think these are topics that we all need to discuss and delve into at depth so that we can evolve and expand into being our best selves at any given moment, right? And today I have a topic that I am so excited about. And this is a topic that's so close to my heart. It's about the money stories, the emotional money stories that we women tell ourselves, which keeps us grounded in scarcity. And the reason that I am so passionate about this topic is because scarcity has been the dominant theme of my life. And I used to always struggle to be abundant. Like I had big dreams, big aspirations. I wanted to do big things, but it's always been a struggle. I take 2 steps forward and then I take 10 steps backward, back into scarcity. So it's only over the past couple of years when my spiritual journey intensified that I realized that there's a lot of work to be done underneath. It's not what it looks like on the surface. It's not about getting your words right or forcing a feeling. You had to do a lot of work. And I was super excited when I met Partha Iyengar on LinkedIn because Partha works with people on their money scripts. And when I got talking with Partha, I was so excited to know that he's a founder of a community called the Women's Financial Advancement Network, which is a community that supports women to rewrite their money scripts so that they are not just financially independent, but they're leading very meaningful, purposeful, inspiring lives, right? Partha has over 3 decades. Partha, by the way, I'm sorry. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me here today. And
Absolutely a pleasure.
just for the audience to know, Partha has almost 3 decades of experience in sales, advertising, and a larger part of his career has been in the financial services industry. And he has an impressive track record, but more than the track record, because a lot of people have great track records. It's the work he does today that excites me incredibly. So I'm going to invite Partha to share a little bit about his journey because you think about financial services industry, you see the suits and you see the jargon and you see it's intimidating. Like for a woman, I'm intimidated, and and when you talk about money scripts, it resonates. So I please tell us and please tell the audience a little bit about your journey to from where you started to where you are now. Partha.
Yes, thank you so much for the opportunity, Rekha. It's been wonderful to be here. And I've been watching your awesome work on LinkedIn as well as the FB Live. If I have to really capture my 21 years in financial services, I can break it up into two parts, literally into 2 decades. I started when the internet bubble happened, my career in financial services 2000. So
Mhm.
2000 to 2010, I was literally left brain oriented.
Okay.
Okay, logical numbers, being a traditional financial planner focused
Mhm.
only on numbers, and most important is that I was an activist financial planner. What I mean by activist financial planner is I would actually literally get angry with clients saying you cannot achieve certain goals, you don't have the money. Imagine I saying that, right?
Yeah.
So I was from that perspective, and it's 10% logical, right? It's like the iceberg model. I was only in that top of the iceberg. I haven't seen the underneath 90%. And that's what took me from 2011 to 2021, being on the using my right brain most effectively because it focuses on the subconscious mind and it focuses on the emotions. What you said exactly. It's all about money is not about logic at all. A lot of people believe in that, right? That includes even the greatest fund managers. It's
Okay.
90% emotions and 10% only logic. And why is it so? Because it's a strong money belief scripts and patterns that's embedded in us. We will cover that as we go along. And the most important thing I found was not just a subconscious mind, but also about what you said beautifully in your post. is moving from that scarcity mindset to abundance mindset. And when
Yes.
I say abundance, it's not just money, across all aspects of life. That's what I found by, when I was, it was a literally a revolution for me inside in
Mm-hmm.
2011 when I
Mm-hmm.
did two courses, one as financial life planning, and I attended a fantastic conference which stretched for 6 days on
Mm-hmm.
life planning, and I did few
Mm-hmm.
of the money exercises. So I can
Okay.
sum it up this way. This is what, two parts, moving more towards a right brain, help me understand my relationship with money as well as clients' relationship with money.
Okay, great. Wow. Okay, so Partha, I'm very curious because you're the first male guest on my live. I mean, my live is very young, so obviously
Honored,
you're the first
humbled.
male guest. And I have to ask this question from the gender perspective. According to you, given this vast experience that you have, how do you think men and women differ in their approaches towards money and wealth? And why do you think this difference exists, if there is a
Great.
difference?
Absolutely great question. There is a difference. I would like to
Mhm,
take you back to a few centuries. If you look at the
mhm,
background, men
mhm.
were hunters and gatherers, women were nurturers, and it continued because of the reptilian brain that we were using for a long time. We never use the advanced brain, right? I'm not going to
Right.
the technicals of the brains. I'm just going into
Yeah.
the three parts of the brain, the back end of the brain, the reptilian
Mhm,
brain, and then
mhm.
that's that fight flight response kind of a thing. But
Right.
what's important is women always were told that you are going to be a nurturer, you're going to take care of the family, you're going to take care of the children, and that's your role. Whereas a man's role is to get food on the table,
Hmm.
right? So
Hmm.
looking from that context, there was no conversation happening when
Hmm.
when it was involving money, because it
Hmm.
was naturally taught that women and money don't go along. And that
Hmm.
stereotype was built centuries ago.
Mhm,
It's slowly changing now. I'll get into it. But
mhm,
another interesting thing, if you look at it socially, if you look at being the primary breadwinners, men got a lot of confidence and they were taking a lot of risks.
mhm.
And vis-a-vis, if you look at it, uh, women not yet fully, recognized, even though right now, if you look at now, when we go into now, they are financially independent, they are earning. But if you look at on an average across history-wise, women are less risk takers. So
Mhm,
that's a difference that you would see between men and women. Where does it come from? Very simple.
mhm,
It's going to be stunning when I say this because I've worked with the men as well as the women as a couple. Men have huge ego.
mm.
Okay, it
Okay.
arises from there because when they meet a financial services professional, when the couple sits, the women ask questions and the financial services professional is not able to answer. They will use all the financial jargons to, you know, keep them away,
Exclude. Yes.
exclude. So what do? They just go make coffee or tea or some snacks and give this financial services professional. Being a nice guy, that's it, whatever it is. But whereas men with their ego, they just cannot accept that they don't know. They just nod their heads, they just sign up. So that's
Okay.
where I see a huge difference happening because of the ego, they are not learning, they are not focusing. Whereas if you look at women, though they might be by risk taking less, they are extremely goal oriented and focused. And they are
Yeah.
looking at mental accounting. Literally, they invented mental accounting. Women have been traditionally better money managers. And I will look at data and I can share that too. If you look
Yeah.
at men have underperformed even professionally when it
Okay.
comes to managing money, whereas women are given up to 1.8% per annum more than men. Just
Right.
imagine 1 crore, 1.8 lakhs. You can do whatever you want with it for doing nothing at all. So that's a
You
huge
know,
difference.
it's very interesting you say this because I don't technically as a woman I don't believe women have a problem with taking risks. And the reason I say it is because I've seen women take some incredible risks in life or in choices or in making decisions for the families. But we are very often told that there are things you can do and there are things you cannot do, and you are judged for doing things you cannot do. And it takes a lot of time for us to break through that conditioning, right? So,
Yes.
when the mainstream excludes you, and then you also have conditioning, so it's like a double whammy. You have the mainstream against you, and then you have an inner resistance. It's quite a bit to process and navigate your way through, right? So
Absolutely.
so I'm going to jump to the next question, because I think we're leading into a point where we talk about resistance from inside and out. And obviously, when there are resistance, you create blocks, right? There will be blockages to flow.
Yes.
And I was very intrigued when you mentioned emotional money blocks. And can you like break it down for us? What are these emotional money blocks, and why are they important? Tell us a little bit more about these.
Yeah. So if you look at it, we are, as human beings, governed literally by our beliefs, scripts, and patterns
Mm-hmm.
programmed from the age of 0 to 7. When I
Mm-hmm.
say zero, it starts from
Hmm.
second trimester.
Okay.
And it's been proved by science. But the beauty
Mm-hmm.
of it, ancient Indians, I don't know whether we believe, our grandmothers, I still believe, would say when a pregnant woman is just about, going to be pregnant the first semester, she would say, be clear whom you are talking to, be clear about what your thought process is, be clear what kind of music you are playing. So focus
Mm-hmm.
on positivity
Mm-hmm.
and focus
Okay.
on soothing music and whole lot of stuff the grandmothers used to say. And
Yeah.
that's what now the Western science says, you've got to plant those positive scripts and
Yeah.
money beliefs, basically. And
Yeah.
that's where it's all coming from, the early childhood. And in the
Mm-hmm.
early childhood, the children see what the parents are doing primarily. It comes from their
Right. Right.
implicit and explicit, and
Right.
also few extended family members, and maybe in the grade 1 LKG UKG, that's what they gather all that. And from there the decision making is evolved all through our life. The choices are
Mm-hmm.
made based on that 0 to 7, what we have
Mm-hmm.
implicitly and explicitly learned.
Mm-hmm.
Unless and until, yes, we get aware, oh, these money scripts or these life scripts is not working for me, let me look
Yeah.
at how I can change. So once that
Yeah.
awareness comes, then it
Yeah.
becomes easy.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you to make it a little more simpler, like, and
Yeah.
explain how does a script play out? Like, can you give an example? Like, where is a source? How does that translate into maybe a behavior or a belief, which in turn translates into a behavior which is limiting, and then how does that play out? Just so that maybe with a hypothetical example or something that simplifies it in a way that's relatable for.
Absolutely. One simple example I can take this belief, which is so
Hmm.
prevalent, not just India, across the world, researchers show.
Yeah.
We put others first. I mean, when I say we, women, I have a lot of
Yeah.
feminine energy, so I call it as we, but
Okay.
I say that women
Yeah.
put others first.
Yeah.
Okay? When they put others first, what happens is that right from health to money to everything comes secondary, tertiary, fourth for women. And
Hmm.
it's been proven by data, even the recent research is that right now, even women, 90% of the spending they do is for the family members or relatives. So
Yeah.
it's very clear where is it coming from? It's all
Yes.
going back to, I would say, to the Stone Age. You are a nurturer, you are supposed to take care of others, and in turn, when you take care of others, your men will take care of you.
Ah, now I
You got
get
it?
it. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So this is so interesting because I don't even have to go to the Stone Age. I am
Yeah.
so reminded of the women in my family who would say, take care of the men, take care of the boys, take care of the children. Even something as simple as eating your meals, right? You serve the elders, the men, and then the children, and the women always sit down last to eat.
Exactly. I was about to say that. Even now, the
Right.
traditional function is men eat first, the women serve, and then the
Yes.
women eat last. So that's
Absolutely.
still
Yeah.
around, right? Why can't we be together?
Absolutely. So that makes sense to me now that you have to defer to somebody else. And and it's very interesting that you raise this point because in the corporate world we would often see that women were fantastic at get negotiating for their team members, but when it comes to asking for a pay hike for themselves, they would hold back. There would be a lot of self doubt, and they weren't very good at it. Right. So that's
Yeah. A
you wanted
simple
to add.
example I just read yesterday is a beautiful point you said in the corporate world. I just read today in LinkedIn. This was put up by
Yeah.
Lenin. Uh,
Hmm.
it seems in any conference room, if there is a single woman, she's supposed to do the note taking. And there
Yes.
is one man who stood up and said, "Look, let me do the note taking." I think that
Yes.
stereotype has to shift, the allyship has to come in. Then I think it's going to change because these behavioral
Absolutely.
changes take a lot of time, especially the patriarchy. It is going
Yes.
to take a lot of time. But I
Right.
think we don't need to wait for it. We can
Yeah.
take charge.
We can take charge. Right. So, out of curiosity, like when we talk about money blocks, is it like one or 10? How many money blocks?
Oh, we have like
Oh,
hundreds and thousands, hundreds and thousands. It depends on us. But what I
right.
can say by research, the top five money blocks:
Yeah.
one, lack of confidence. The first thing.
And and we're talking about
from an
women here.
from an Indian context, I'm saying lack of
Right.
confidence. First thing,
Yeah.
putting
Right.
others first. Second thing,
Right.
codependency, because most of the Indian women uh, drop out of workforce. The
Hmm.
codependency comes in, right. We have
Hmm.
the highest gender gap in the workplace.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. And four, the most important, scarcity mindset. That's
Yeah.
been brought way, way, way during this childhood days. That I would say
Mhm.
more for women than men in the sense, for example, it's always like uh, when there is a little amount of money, it's always going to the boys, not to the girls,
Right.
right?
Yes.
Oh, you can't
Yes.
afford it. Let
Right.
give it to your brother, right?
Right.
And even when it comes to education, the brother
Right.
is sent to a very quality high education school, whereas the daughter
Hmm.
is not. So
Yes.
the whole stereotype has been built right from there, and it takes a lot of time to break that. And what it translates to is women automatically absorb that scarcity mindset. Oh, it's a scarce for me. Money is scarce for me. So that's the thing. But interestingly, what we have also seen is the external triggers also contribute. These are all internal triggers. One
Right.
is the financial services, which is alienated totally for the last 40 years. So that's
Hmm.
not given confidence to women. They have managed to say convincingly that women and money don't get along. It's like
Yes.
simple thing, uh, uh, a simplest example I could say today, even it exists in India, right? Women and car, everybody loves car driving.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And the
Absolutely.
second thing is money. Second thing is
Yes.
money. I have seen
Yes.
fantastic women car drivers. My wife drives car. I don't know to drive a car.
Yeah.
She does amazingly well. She can compete
Right.
with any, be it
Right.
speed, be it quality of driving or anything. So it's
Right.
just that stereotype that's been built and it's been propagated, and that what we do is a conditioning we get into. We
Right.
believe it's all external, right? All the beliefs are external, and we get into it.
Right. Right. Okay, this is such a fascinating breakdown because it's so nuanced. It's when you really look at it, when we talk about scarcity mindset as a very broad umbrella term, but really it boils down to moment decisions. And I have been in this place. I know women, I work with women, and when I work with women, I know women who come and tell me it's not that I don't have the money. I
Yeah.
have the money, but something stops me from making a high value spend on myself. Or if I have to do a high value investment, I want consensus. Like I want to talk to my brother, I want to talk to my father. And I've seen incredibly intelligent, powerful women say this. And I would be, it always be, I mean, I experience it. Even with my experiencing it, there is a part of me which says, this is not right. It shouldn't be this way.
Yeah.
And, like you have aspirations, but there's a part of you which is keeping you down in
Absolutely.
scarcity, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to jump to the $1 million question that all of us want to know, right?
Hmm.
how
Okay.
do we release these blocks? I mean, I'm gonna put it in kitchen lingo for you. How do we drain these blocks out of our system so we are not
Absolutely.
going to worry about how about the spends, or so we can participate in
Yes.
conversation about money.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So I would put it as first is start with your top five blocks, how you want to
Yeah.
work.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the top five blocks, in fact, that's a
Mm-hmm.
gift that we are going to give to all the viewers. People can take it from Reka. We've got an amazing research on the top five blocks, and people can work on their own
Mm-hmm.
their money blocks and come out with what should be done. Basically, they can really work on it by themselves. It's a simple exercise that they can do. So they can
Okay.
reach out to Reka, ping, and get it. But I want to
Yes.
emphasize what are those top five money blocks. You emphasize quite a bit. One,
Yes.
this is the universal research, prioritizing others over themselves, which is anyway clear. The
Yeah.
money secrecy. People don't want to talk about money, especially women. I
Yes.
am not feeling confident to talk about money. And the
Yes.
most important, they do not want to talk about money with their partners or with
Yeah.
any close, intimate person. It's very
Mhm.
important. Then
Yeah.
it's lacking confidence in your own knowledge. Even though women traditionally have been great money managers, like I've said about data, it's just that lacking that confidence in the knowledge part of it. And most
Yeah.
important is there is that uncertainty. You said it exactly in decision making. Should I consult my brother? Should I consult someone? There is no need to have that uncertainty. Jump in, take that risk, put in small amount of money and see for yourself where it goes.
Yeah.
It will work. And also lacking trust with financial advisors.
Hmm.
I would say that last part after 2008, yes, it's gone really bad. You really
Hmm.
need to pick and choose whom you want to work with. But
Hmm.
today, the internet and whole lot of other platforms are available where you can choose and you can learn, and it's not a rocket science. And women have been, doing very well. Now, coming back to what is it that,
Partha,
uh,
Partha, may I just interject for a moment here? Because this is something that I have learned as a single woman in this country. There are so many times when I walk into a space, and people are looking for a man behind me to endorse my decision. And one of the things I have learned as a single woman is to say, I am your client. I am your customer. You give me the information I need it in the way I want it, and
correct?
not hesitate to really, to it's nothing to be afraid of. It's
Yep.
in across the board. It's across the board on all decisions. And I just wanted to interject it because when you said this, it kind of went off as a light bulb in my head.
Yes, absolutely. And women need to ask repeatedly the questions. They just give
Yeah.
up after once or twice because they feel belittled. In fact, I've been doing workshops. Women
Yeah.
generally wait for the men to go, and then they surround me and ask questions. It's coming from a
Yeah.
place of shame. You don't
Yeah.
need to be shameful. It's your money.
Yeah.
It's you want to know. There is no question that is stupid, to be precise. It's your hard-earned money that you want to work, and you have every right to ask questions till it gets clarified. If you're not happy with that person, go to someone else. Shop,
Yeah.
shop.
Yes.
That's very
Absolutely.
important. Yeah, yeah.
Great. Awesome. I love this.
Yes, and
Right.
you asked about few of the things what needs to be done. I would say
Yes.
start with reflecting on your money decisions from your early childhood. What did you do when you were first given money? Just to give you a
Mhm.
very small example, I remember very early childhood days. That determines our behavior at this point of
Mhm.
time too. So I was given like 50 paise during my early 70s. I was going to school, and
Mhm.
it was meant for, while coming back from school from walk to have two idlis.
Mhm.
I could have probably had one idli and saved the money, but I never did that. Why?
Mhm.
When I trace back now, I realize if I save the money, my mother will say, okay, you have some money, then I'll give you half the money, not the full
Yes.
money for the day. Right?
Yes.
So when I
Yes.
reflect back, I'm looking at whenever I go to purchase, till recently, till I got this money beliefs and everything right, I used to completely spend it.
Yes.
And I used to come back empty because I
Yeah.
always felt that I will be asked, do you have surplus money? Then that means I'm going to give
Right.
you less.
Right.
It's such a powerful thing. If you look at it, why are we spending money? Is because of that. It started from there, and it's also coming
Right.
from that place where we were growing up. We were seven children. We had very less money, so it
Yeah.
was those things that dictated. Yeah.
Yes. So Partha, I have a question for you. Would you recommend journaling about your money habits on a day-to-day basis so you can uncover patterns and behaviors? Is that something you would recommend for women?
Yes, in fact, there are several tools available. The one tool is what we are sharing with you. There are several tools which you
Okay.
can actually use. Of course,
Okay.
one needs to go to financial coaches, really, really certified financial coaches. But yes, one beautiful thing is writing a journal. One of the
Okay.
things I can highlight is my money scripts and patterns were so bad in 2011 when I discovered. I asked my life coach to help me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All she helped me was is in terms of to do is write some affirmations,
Yeah.
simple affirmations, and journal, basically gratitude journal for whatever you have, the abundance, and from there some affirmations, and
Right.
that's a good place to begin with, actually. So,
Awesome.
and also start reading some of these available online, but it's not going to be like complex. It You
Right.
just need to keep some understanding. It takes some time, 3 months, and in 1 year's time I can say most people can take decisions on their own. It's not rocket
Absolutely.
science. If I can do from advertising and come to financial services and learn in 3 months, I think anyone can do. Yeah,
Course. So it boils down to confidence basically and self-belief and saying,
absolutely.
take the next step, we can do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, great. So we are almost coming to the end of our segment. We're actually over the segment, but I'm just going to recap the top tips that you have given so that we can, in a sustained manner, walk from scarcity towards abundance. One is to reflect upon our our relationship with money from a very young age, our spending, our savings, and trace back the scripts. Whose scripts are we actually carrying? Is it what our mothers told us,
Yeah.
or is it something that we know, right? Were we suppressing what we needed because we were told to behave in a certain way,
Yes.
right?
Absolutely.
The second one, as you mentioned, would be journaling, maintaining a gratitude journal, and having
Yes.
affirmations. Because I think you have to be your biggest cheerleader in this, right?
Absolutely.
I think that would be a third one, second one. And the third one would be to learn, to read up, to learn, to ask for help, because there are, today we live in a world where there are so many coaches and you can easily get the information, and to just have confidence and keep at it. You may have a bad day in the beginning, keep at it every day, take a little bite, and before you know it, you're going to be able to eat the whole pie. Anything else you want to add on there, Partha?
Yeah. I would like to give three things as tips. Basically,
Okay.
one is you're worth it.
Yeah.
One is you're worth it.
Yeah.
Spend intentionally. 90% is going towards others.
Right.
Imagine 90% if you can spend on others. If you can scale it a little bit, you can spend on yourself first.
Right.
So, you are worth it, and spend, and no need to feel guilty or shame about it. That's
Right.
number one. And second, the most important thing, remember the flight analogy, oxygen mask. If you can't save and invest for yourself, how can you help your own family members? That means you need to have your own savings account. You need to learn. Start from a place what you know. It doesn't matter if you don't know a lot of stuff. It's okay. You might know about bank deposits to start with, RDs to start with. It's okay. You can start from there. You might know PPF. You can start from there. That's perfectly fine. And third, keep asking questions and have most important money dates with your partner. You can have
Oh,
wonderful
nice.
money dates with your partner, and you can go on a date night just having one question in mind and have an open conversation, because many times relationships fail because of money, because both parties do not want to talk about it, and women are the biggest sufferers in that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Partha. And just for everyone who's watching now with us and after, just know that Partha has very generously offered a fabulous workbook on
Money
undoing,
blocks.
yeah, on
Yeah.
mind blocks and working through your money scripts. And the ebook is available with me. So if you would like to access it, please message me. Send me your email address and I will send it to you. This is not gated content. We want women to receive this. We want you to work on it. Partha is available on LinkedIn and on Facebook. You can find him on my
Yeah.
profile. Do feel free to ping him because Partha has been incredibly helpful. And,
Anytime
just
welcome. Yes.
ask for help. Thank you,
Yes.
everybody, for joining us again this Friday. Do remember, I will be back next Friday. And I think I'll be talking about women and their relationships with their bodies. This is going to be a great conversation. Please join us. Partha, thank you so much for joining me again. And
My pleasure.
I hope to have you back very soon.
It'll be my pleasure again. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Rekha. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care. Have a great weekend,
You too.
everybody.
Thank you. Bye.